through the Vietnam Hanoi airport. 7:30 a.m. We are exhausted and we need a coffee, so it is the ceremonious last pho. Look at the color of that. This looks so good. Ooh, I'm really gonna miss Vietnamese food. I think it might be my favorite food in the whole world. I don't feel guilty after eating a meal. I feel fresh. We are staying in an area called Kowloon, which is on the north side of Hong Kong, and we actually pre-ordered our octopus cards, which is how we get around the city. Our hotel was extremely centrally located, and it was actually inside this kind of like indoor marketplace. This room was the dustiest room. It was so dusty. They call it a double bed, but that was definitely not a double bed. As soon as we got in, left all of our stuff, we were ready to explore first day in Hong Kong. We actually got the Star Ferry from Kowloon to Hong Kong Island. These ferries were actually so much fun. There's multiple that run throughout the day, and it was definitely one of our favorite ways to get around the city. Just come to Hong Kong Central Park. We got the ferry to Hong Kong Island, and then we got the S22 bus with our octopus card. This park is definitely cooler than any park you'll get in London, I'll tell you that much. Actually, because we've just come from Hanoi, which had the worst air quality in the whole world last year, Hong Kong, surprisingly, the area is just so like clean here, and we were kind of assuming that the air quality might actually feel quite bad, but it's the complete opposite. Really fresh air and lots of birds and wildlife and crazy trees and stuff. Something I thought was really cool about Hong Kong, and is actually very similar to something they have in Bangkok, is they have something called a skywalk. Above the main roads is a walkway system for you to be able to get around the city without having to cross roads. Hong Kong is basically on 3 levels. You have the skywalk, the main roads, and the under part in the metro system, where you can also walk from station to station. This also meant that Google Maps was an absolute waste of time. It was always incorrect, and navigating the map system to get around was hella confusing. Night markets are one of the highlights of just traveling in Asia. One of the best ways when you're visiting a new Asian country, go to a night market, get some random foods. It will really build a picture of the kind of place that you're in. And after a very long day of exploring, we went home and had an extremely uncomfortable night's sleep. 6 out of 10, I would rate this. One thing I noticed pretty fast in this city was that the prices of coffee was absolutely horrendous. So this is me testing out a 7-Eleven coffee. Evidently, I don't think I was overjoyed by the taste. There were a few little random details that I did notice, one of which was a lot of things are kind of randomly similar to what they're like in England. For example, everyone here also waits on the side of the escalators so that people can walk up. Now, back in England, this is like very common courtesy, and I've never seen anyone do this in any other country. We are on Victoria Peak at the minute. 148 Hong Kong dollars to get to the top, which was around £15, which I think, to be honest, is worth it. It included the skywalk, which is what we are on right now. Just look at those views. It is quite busy at the minute. It's so nice up here though. I would definitely recommend Victoria Peak to anyone coming to Hong Kong. I think it's probably going to be one of the highlights. We're going to go get some lunch in this new area that we're going to go to, which is going to be in between where we are now and our next destination. Lettuce and soy sauce. It's literally just lettuce. place is called Monster Building, east side of Hong Kong Island. Probably the most Hong Kong thing I've ever seen. Pretty spectacular in the flesh, genuinely. Fine, I'm actually lying. I'm actually drinking a coffee. Don't trust everything you see on the internet, guys. Hong Kong also is one of the coolest places for this very reason. They have a massive light show every single night at 8 p.m. and this is called the Symphony of Lights, and it was such a spectacular moment. If you guys are going and you really want to view it in the best place, go to Avenue of the Stars and just walk down, take in the scenery. They're usually playing like the coolest soft jazz as well. It's such a beautiful moment. Big these pints are. I'm sorry, I feel like a tiny human. I don't know if you guys have ever tried HongKong. It's like a German brand. It's so good. In terms of Hong Kong nightlife, there's not that many places you can really go, but there's one strip. Even tonight, it's like a Tuesday night and there's still quite a lot of places open. But one thing I will say, the prices for pints here are ridiculous. £9 a pint, $11, $12 for a pint, US dollars. After I think only managing to have 2 drinks because the price of beer was giving me a heart attack, went home and prepared for our final day in Hong Kong before we caught our flight at like, I think 10 p.m. First of all, I just want to apologize for my voice. We are literally in the world's dustiest room, so we both have throat infection. We are somewhere called Nan Lian Garden. I almost feel like I'm in the Lorax world. Can't remember what those trees are called, but how it's like a ball on the top. This cute little garden is just like nestled in the middle of this massive Hong Kong metropolis. All these high-rise buildings. It makes such a cool like contrast on the landscape. Like, unfortunately, they're doing some maintenance work at the minute, but normally they have like a little river going through, cute little water fixtures, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't also look really cool with their like Hong Kong backdrop. But yeah, normally you would be able to kind of go in there and walk across the bridge and stuff. I was really looking forward to that, but never fear, because the next place we are going is hopefully get makeup for it. We're at Choi Hung Estate. It's basically a rooftop basketball area surrounded by these like crazy apartment complexes. I think back when it was first built, I've seen in other people's YouTubes and stuff that the panels on the building were like a brighter color, but it seems like through the sun they've dimmed a little bit. Unfortunately, that is the end of the video. A little advice to you guys is if you are ever traveling to someone and there's like a natural layover, definitely take full advantage, because originally this was supposed to just be a little layover, but instead of just staying there for like a few hours, we decided to extend it and spend a couple nights here. It's such a good way to like get the most out of your travel. In terms of the flights, it's basically the same price. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I will see you in my next vlog in another part of the world.